Okay, lesson 67, Great Christians Inspiring Lives. The Bible speaks in Hebrews 11 about men and women of faith who accomplish great things for God, and we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses. And here's just a small sample of many Christians who did great things for God in the past 2,000 years for the purpose of encouraging us to attempt great things for God as well. And if God did great things through them, God can do great things through us. True? And the first example is Polycarp, lived in 150 AD. He was one of the people taught in person by the Apostle John, and he was burnt to death at Smyrna in Turkey in an amphitheatre. He was called upon to deny Jesus Christ. Christians were called atheists because they didn't have images, and so he said, 86 years have I served Jesus, my Lord and Master. I will not. He's never done me wrong, so I'm not going to deny him now. So they burnt him to death. Peter Waldo in 1176, he started a Christians group called the Waldenses, and these people went out 2 by 2 to share the gospel, and so many people left the Catholic Church because of their preaching that the Catholic Church severely persecuted them, so they ran away to the high mountains in France, and their descendants are there today. Number 3, we have John Wycliffe, who lived in England in 1320 to 1384. He translated the Bible from Latin to English so the average person could understand the Bible. The Catholic Church only wanted the priest to read it and not the average person. Then John Huss, one of his disciples, 1369 to 1414, living in Czechoslovakia. He said Jesus is head of the church, not the Pope. And he was against the Catholic Church selling indulgences, which is known as selling tickets into heaven, out of purgatory into heaven, as unbiblical. And so they persecuted him. The 5th person who did something great for God on this list is Martin Luther. Martin Luther started the Protestant Reformation in 1517. He was born in 1483. He discovered the truth of Romans 1:17, the just shall live by faith, meaning we are saved and justified by faith in Jesus as our Saviour when we receive him as Saviour. On 31st of October 1517 he wrote 95 Theses. That means 95 things wrong with the Roman Catholic Church. And shortly after that, half of Europe left the Roman Catholic Church because John Tetzel had come to his place in Germany with a box saying, as the coin in you pop, a soul from purgatory does hop. So the people said to the people, if you put a coin in the box, your dead father, will jump out of purgatory into heaven. And so that was a rip-off scam of the Catholic Church. And Martin Luther exposed it, and the Catholic Church burnt the Bibles, burnt the Christians, and then started the 30 Years' War, where the population of Germany dropped from 15 million to 5 million from 1618 to 1648. And this changed Europe in many big ways. When Europe became a Bible-based continent, science advanced, technology advanced, freedom advanced, many freedoms, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. Okay, then Zwingli, another famous person, born in 1518 in Switzerland. He died in 1531, persecuted by the Catholics. Then there were Anabaptists, people who believe that you don't get sprinkled as a baby in the Catholic Church, you get baptised in water after salvation to show your belief in Jesus' death, burial, resurrection. Then there was John Knox in Scotland, 1514 to 1572. He was a preacher that led the Protestant Reformation in Scotland. He started the Presbyterian Church. Then there was number 9, Thomas Cranmer, 1489 to 1556. He was in the time of Henry VIII, and Mary burnt him at the stake, known as Bloody Mary. And then Queen Elizabeth took the throne. It was Henry VIII, Edward VI came to the throne at age 9. Mary burnt about 300 Christians at the stake, and Queen Elizabeth, then she died, and Elizabeth, her sister, took over the throne of England, who gave Protestantism and Bible preaching freedom. Then number 10, there were the Huguenots in France, 1562 to 1629. There was an 18-year war against the French Protestants, of which were about 10% of the French population. and they killed hundreds, the Catholics killed hundreds of thousands of these Christians. Over here, in Revelation 17, verses 5 and 6, I saw the woman, that's the Catholic Church, drunk with the blood of the saints and the martyrs of Jesus. The Catholic Church killed so many people, 68 million people from 1100 to 1800. Eh? Pretty terrible, eh? And then there's Count Zinzendorf in Czechoslovakia. He lived around 1700. He was, as a young boy, he saw a painting of Jesus on the cross saying, "This I did for you, what did you do for me?" And that changed his thinking. He said, I'd better do something for Jesus if he died to pay my sin debt. And so at age 10 he started a gospel preaching club, and he sent missionaries to Africa, USA, Greenland and other countries as well. A Moravian, who was one of Zinzendorf's people, asked John Wesley if he was saved, and he wasn't sure, so John Wesley got saved and started a great revival in England. Pretty good? Very exciting. Okay, so will you be a great person for God? These men did something great for God, and you can do something great for God as well. If you learn the Bible, learn how to share the gospel, lead people to Christ, and learn how to teach the Bible and make connections all around the world. And distribute stop tracts, establishing the faith, answers books, to train workers to do a great work for God. Will you do that? Go ahead and do it.